This is Adam Chunn from HutChu Games, and I'm here to try to convince you to play my game, Plunderbund. Plunderbund is a game set in the Sprawl, which is a bustling metropolis filled with orcs and elves and wizards, but yet it's set in a slightly Americana time where we're talking about basically Chicago, 1920s Chicago, Prohibition era, a little bit of government corruption, a little bit of greased palms and untrustworthy police departments. In the Sprawl, it's represented by this board, and on the board we have these really cool little miniatures. There's a racketeer that he does protection rackets, and we have an agent, and he's trying to peddle our black market goods in through a variety of different merchants that are represented on the board. The types of goods, we kind of abstract them into 4 different types. We've got, in the game, it monitors those 4 different types as basically appealing goods, like jewelry, or low price goods, I don't know, just baubles, I guess. High quality goods, talking about like saws and pickaxes, things that need to work really well. And ingenious goods, I don't really know what the medieval equivalent of an iPad, but something like that. Anyway, the way that the game's played is that your guild is represented by a bunch of cards. We have these cards here that have this fantastic art. It's also represented behind me. And these cards allow you to manipulate the board by placing your miniatures, like a racketeer. If you have a racketeer card, it goes into, onto the board, or an agent card, or we call it the footpad. Or it allows us manipulate the trackers in order for us to win competitions, because of course you're playing against people. This is a competitive game, and your competition also has agents and racketeers on the board. And in order for you to win the goods, which are how to sell the goods, which the demand for those goods is represented by these coins. And you win those goods by being better on these various trackers, better than your competition. There's a light deck building mechanic, or we call it user-friendly deck building mechanic. When we go into a recruit phase and we interview various guild members, those new cards that represent the recruits go on top of your deck, so they're immediately drawn. We also use a favor economy, so each card has a favor cost, and that favor is basically a garbage card that you owe, and it goes into your discard pile, and when you shuffle your cards up and you draw it again, you immediately pay back your favor. So we have this constant flow of favors going into our hand, and from our hand back into the discard pile. And there's an opportunity cost whenever if you take too many favors, then you draw a lot of favors later. Lastly, we've got light area control. We call it the turf war, where at the very end of the game, we look at how many different miniatures are in one of the 4 regions of the game. And in those 4 regions, whoever has the most miniatures wins the turf war. And ideally, at the end, you built up your guild and you've gained so much reputation that you earn the mantle of boss of bosses.